Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Minecraft News. I'm your host, BearStoneGaming, and today, the Wild update 1.19 has arrived. So that came out on the 7th, so we are here, we're learning about it today. We got a lot of stuff to take care of. We got the Warden came out, allays, new additions to the swamp. We have mangrove trees and boats with chests in them. We got a lot of fun stuff here today. So I figured today we're going outside of the studio here, and we're gonna check out everything in person. Let's go. Okay, we are outside the studio, and we're gonna check out all the new guys, all the new things, all the new mobs that are coming out today. First off, we have the allays. Now, what do allays do? Well, first off, they won the Minecraft competition of what new mob should be coming out. So there's these guys. They follow. Thank you for the follow, by the way. These guys follow you around, holding items. So you give them an item, any item, and what they'll do is they'll fly around. They will pick up that item, and until you put a note block down, you make a sound with a note block, or they found all the items. You know, they're pretty useful. You can use these guys for automated storage systems. Okay, next thing over here, we have the Warden, but we're going to skip him for a little bit because we have frogs. The Warden hates frogs, and he will kill them from inside of his cage. So we're going to talk about the frogs first. All right, next update, we have frogs. Now, you find a couple different kind of frogs, whether you're in a regular climate, such as this. You know, this is like a plains biome. But if you have a snowy biome or a snowy desert, you know, you got a hot one instead, you'll have different colored frogs. Okay, frogs, you breed them with slime blocks, and they lay frog spawn, which is those little eggs down in there, which eventually turn into tadpoles. And so these are the first guys that don't duplicate themselves when you breed them. All right, you could take the tadpoles, pick them up with a bucket, and move them to your other biomes to be able to have them change to the different colors when they grow up. If you feed them a magma cube, oh, there's the tadpoles. They just hatched. Okay, they're cute. They're in water, and you can have this all be water. By the way, they won't drown. They need water. The frogs, I mean. They won't drown. So you can just have it all be water in your little frog enclosure. These guys jump super high, so be sure to block them in. But anyhow, as I was saying, the different colored frogs from the different biomes, hot and cold, give you 3 different types of frog lights. These are super bright, you know, light level 15, I believe. And they will help light your world, so different splash of color in there. You find these guys naturally in the swamp. And they will breed up. What's up? Even if it hatches from a different biome, they change color. The frogs themselves will not change color. What will happen, however, is when they grow up, they will be different colors. So you take the tadpoles, you move the tadpoles to a different biome, and the tadpoles will then grow up to turn into a frog of that color, which will give you the different colored lights. Thank you for the question. That'll help out. Next on the list, we got the mangrove swamps. While you're in the swamp collecting your frogs, you have your mangrove swamp. Okay, these are a new addition to regular swamps. Okay, first off, you got your mud. All right, mud is the new useful brick in the useful block in Minecraft. Okay, you got your mud. These are rooted mud from the trees. Okay, you got your packed mud, your mud bricks. It also comes, you can have your mud bricks to get your slabs, staircases, you know, your walls, that type of thing. If you don't have a swamp, you could take your mud, you could take regular dirt, add a water bottle to it, and it will give you mud. What's cool about mud, okay, not only can you make these cool bricks, however, you can also do the dripstone, same way we did with the lava tutorial. Regular block, this is stone, dripstone underneath it, and it will drain the mud to create clay. Okay, so this is a clay block. I put a mud block up here. The dripstone drained the water out, and now it is clay. So now we have a renewable source of clay within the game. Make yourself a clay farm. All you need is regular dirt, water bottles, and dripstone. Okay, it could be any block, a solid block, dripstone, and it will drain all the water out. You got clay now. Okay, over here, big trees. Excuse me, I got to cough real quick. All right, we have the mangrove tree. Okay, new type of tree. You find them in the swamps. All right, and these things, they are gigantic. They are awkward. It makes for a difficult automatic tree chopper. What they come from is these propolis, propagules. I'll put the spelling up on the screen here. And how you get them is with these trees. You take a leaf from it, you shear the leaf off just like any other tree, and you bone meal it. And what'll happen is a little tiny nodule will pop out of the bottom. You let it grow decently sized. You break it off, and then you put it in the ground. You could bone meal it, and it will turn into your giant swamp tree. Okay. Now these things pretty cool because you can actually use these roots as a building block. So now you have a clear, sort of see-through building wood. All right. You also have the whole way up here, and look, more of the propagules are naturally growing. But like I said, you can bone meal it and get more. You break those off and you plant them. Okay, and then your wood, actual wood, is up here. That wood is red inside. Okay, you know, you can use your axe on it, get the bark off, and here you go. You got your red wood. Okay, which gives you all of these different variations of the red woods that you can have. You have your trapdoors, your signs, all of the good things. Button, door. This is what everything looks like. Okay, and with this as well, you also have your chest in a boat. Okay, this is a new feature for the update. So you have your blocks, or every boat in the game. You can also add chests to. So when you're out and about, just you know, you can have an extra carrying chest with you. That'll help with some storage up things. You're going on an adventure. You need to collect everything there is, and you don't have enough storage space. That can help you out. Different blocks out of the root blocks. I don't believe so. However, this is what happens whenever the root grows into mud. You get the rooted mud. Okay, so you have the rooted mud and the regular roots. The issue with the new mangrove tree is that you can't insta-mine this like you can with other woods. You know, your efficiency axe, your efficiency hose, you know, whatever you want to use to cut the tree down, it's not going to help you. These are nice and slow no matter what you use. And I'm on creative mode, so I just popped that. But it seems to be the swords. Swords chop this tree down the quickest. However, you don't want to waste a sword cutting down trees, so just use your hand or, you know, your axe with mending and hope for the best. But that's with this tree. That's the annoyance of this new tree. You know, you want the redwood, you deal with it. Slowest tree in the game as far as cutting it down. It's one of the slowest blocks in the game for cutting it down, for that matter. That's your new tree. You got your vines, your leaves. Save your leaves if you want to grow the propagules down here. And I'm probably butchering the name of that. How do we spell it? Let's see. Mangrove. I am propagule. I was saying it correctly. You got your propagule. Okay. Now, that's with all this stuff, and we're going to head over to the studio here soon and talk about all the bug fixes. Now, there's 40 bug fixes as well. Oop, I almost forgot the Warden. For this update, we have 5 official new blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have our SKULK block. Okay. We have, let's see, we have our SKULK block. We have our SKULK sensor, which is this Wi-Fi box, and you'll see what it does here in a second. Our SKULK sensor is the flames. SKULK shrieker is the Wi-Fi box. It shoots out different different things. I'll show you why I call you that. This right here, this is the SKULK catalyst. Now it is what the Warden drops himself. We have a SKULK, SKULK Vein, SKULK Catalyst, SKULK Shrieker, SKULK Sensor. Okay, now, this right here, it's just a decorative block. This is what the Warden walks on. This is the SKULK itself. If a mob dies around this block, it will spread out this. This will go everywhere. It's sort of like the glow lichen, where it's just sort of everywhere and it grows on top of blocks. You walk on this, and it will send a signal to the flames. The flames will let this block here know where you're at, and this here, this is the dangerous one. This one is the one that lets the Warden know where you are. It will summon the Warden. Okay? Now I'm going to summon the Warden in. Now this guy down here, we've been playing around with ancient cities. Ancient cities are also a new thing. These guys are disgustingly hard to kill. Alright, they get mad at everything. He hates frogs, by the way. He will go and kill these guys. He has a ranged attack, which I'm sure he will use soon. You see all the little sound waves going to him? He's blind, so he sucks out things with sound. And he just blasted the poop out of these frogs down here. He will continue to do that with anything that makes noise. Okay? And also there was a SKULK block here. One of these iron golems killed a slime, and it spread the SKULK all along my little glass enclosure for the allays. But this guy, he will insta-kill you even with netherite armor if he smacks you, and even if you're far away through blocks, he can still shoot a sound wave at you and kill you that way. He is about half the health of the dragon, the last time I checked. However, he does a lot more damage. So this guy, he's scary, dangerous. He will chase you down and kill you. Ancient cities are where you find this guy for the most part. And then you can find these SKULK blocks in any part of the... I'm going to scoot away so you can hear me. You can find the SKULK blocks in any part of the deep dark biomes. However, in ancient cities, that's where you want to go because you find loot there. In addition to all these cool blocks that you can take home using silk touch to get them, you also find new music discs. Okay, there's a new thing now where the music discs in the ancient city, for music disc 5, they are in fragments. So you have to collect all 9 fragments to put them together to create the new music disc. Alright, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the follow. But that's pretty much it, guys, for the new mobs and new blocks. All in one little thing. Allays, Warden, frogs, in which he killed them all. We got our mud and our mangrove trees. Okay? Now, on top of these, we're going to go back to the studio here. Back over to the new studio. And we will go over the different bug fixes of the game. There's over 40 bug fixes. And let's go talk about those. Okay, we're back in the studio, and now we're going to go over the technical side of things. All the bug fixes, all the fancy details, you know, all the different things, and I'm reading them for you so that you don't have to. If you guys want to actually go through and read all the details, click on the links and see all that type of thing, go head over to Minecraft.net, where you can see all the extra details of everything that's covered here. Okay, first off, we went over the deep dark biome for the new features. New deep dark biome has all the SKULK blocks, the ancient cities, the loot chests, and of course the Warden. The Warden, of course, you've seen him. He's a strong boss type of character that he lives in the deep dark biome. He gets summoned by the SKULK Shriekers, and he is extremely powerful. He can kill you by hitting you or several times with a ranged attack. All right. He is blind, and he finds you through sounds and vibrations. If you want to hide from him, throw some wool down on the ground and sneak around. Okay, there's of course the 5 different types of SKULK blocks. If you want to mine them, use Silk Touch. All right, the SKULK sensor, it's a redstone block that actually detects the vibrations, so you can use that in your redstone builds if you figure out a way how to do that. SKULK Catalyst, it spreads the SKULK around with the SKULK veins, and the SKULK Catalyst is that whitish looking decorative block that the Warden drops if you kill him. Okay, so, you know, maybe it's not worth the fight to you if you want to kill a Warden, but because he only drops the decorative block, but feel free to try it anyway. Okay, the next things you find down there are 2 really cool things. First off, I mentioned the music discs. Okay, they call it echo shards. You find 9 of the music discs, put them together for a new music disc 5, okay? You also find a new compass down there. It's called a recovery compass, okay? And what it does is it actually shows you where you died last, so that's awesome. All right, we have the, thank you for the follow, we also have the mangrove swamp biome, okay? It's a little bit different than the swamp biome, but it should be generalistically the same thing. All right, you find them in areas with high temperatures and high humidity. Okay, and that gives you your mango trees, your mud blocks, and your different things like that. You also find your frogs there. Okay, your mangrove trees have the new different wood types with your plank, stairs, buttons, slabs, fences, doors, signs, pressure plates, all that good type of things. All right, and they drop your propagules out of the leaves when you bone meal the leaves to make more mangrove trees. Bring them home. All right, you got your mud blocks. Your mud blocks are all over the your mangrove swamps. If you add water bottle to regular dirt, you can get your mud blocks. If you want your packed mud, go to the crafting table and mix it with some wheat. Okay. If you place your mud above a block with pointed dripstone underneath, it'll turn the pointed dripstone into clay. All right, good night. Thank you for the follow. With your also with your around with your mud blocks, be sure to keep your eye out for frogs and tadpoles. All right, your frogs, you breed them with small slimes. Okay, and when you breed them, they lay eggs called frog spawn. The eggs will eventually turn to tadpoles. When they grow up a little bit, and you could take a bucket and scoop up the tadpoles just like you scoop up axolotls. So that's pretty cool. You can bring them home, and depending on the temperature of the biome, whether it's regular, hot, or cold, you can get your temperate frogs, warm frogs, and cold frogs. All right, and all 3 of those different types of frogs that you grew make different types of frog light blocks. Okay, you got your ochre, which is the orange, verdant, which is green, and pearlescent, which is that pink. So, pearlescent moon, you got yourself your block that's named after you. Good job. All right, we have allays. Okay, they're bluish light that glows from them. They're pretty cool. If you hand them an item, they'll pick up matching items to find them in the world. They will drop the blocks if they hear a note block playing nearby. If you want to find allays, you have to find them in a pillager outpost or a woodland mansion. Okay, pillager outpost spawns more often than the mansions do. However, the mansions is where you're going to find a lot of them. They're in the prison of the first floor of the woodland mansions. For the pillager outposts, they're in the cages outside with the iron golems. So keep your eye out, and they're rather rare. So even though you'll find a pillager outpost quite often, you'll be lucky to find an allay. Also, now with the update, there's boats in chests. All right, you can bring your stuff home with you in the chest if you run out of inventory space. That's pretty good. We got goat horns. All right, if you have a goat up on a mountaintop and you get it to ram into a solid block, you can it will occasionally drop one of its goat horns. All right, and there are 8 goat horns with 8 different sounds. So go ahead and try to collect them all. the new music with the Music Disc 5 that is made by Lena Rain and Samuel Alberg. All right, and you can only find it by crafting the 9 disc fragments together. Okay, and those are only found in ancient city chests. Once again, if you want to find an ancient city, your best bet is to search underneath a mountain. They're pretty deep. Go to the highest mountain you can find and dig underneath it. All right. And there's a couple new achievements as well. Okay. Achievement called It Spreads, which is if you kill a mob next to a catalyst. One called Birthday Song, where you have an allay drop a cake at a note block. One called With Our Powers Combined, which is when you have all 3 froglights in your inventory. Another achievement called Sneak 100, which is sneaking next to a SKULK sensor without triggering it. Okay, so good luck with that. For bug fixes, all right. They fixed an issue causing baby llamas to fire llama spit from above its head. And they also fixed a bug where sometimes spiders' left legs aren't the same as the right legs. So they fixed that so their legs are the same. All right. They updated the boat icon textures to make them consistent with Java Edition. Fences and walls no longer connect to bells and brewing stands. They fixed a bug where the brewing stand's arm textures did not touch the base. They moved the brewing stand's base's UVs and updated the base texture. They fixed the brewing stand's arms rotation, created a better transition between end portal frame sides texture and the end stone. And they removed unused pixels in the end rod texture. They updated mycelium's side texture to match other dirt-based textures. They fixed light blocks from being destroyable from within while underwater. The Wandering Trader, he no longer opens and closes doors, and he now randomly moves around. The Wandering Trader now matches Java Edition's drinking sounds, and he now has disappear and reappear sound effects when he gains and loses invisibility. The Wandering Trader now also can be named with name tags. However, be noted that naming your Wandering Trader does not stop it from despawning. He will still despawn on you. All right. Shulkers. Shulkers are now immune to fire. Okay. And they also now remain upright in vehicles. Shulkers no longer fail to spawn when there is another shulker at a relative negative Y and X axis. Okay? The new next thing is spectator mode. It's experimental right now. They're working on spectator mode for Bedrock Edition. Okay? It's currently doesn't have all the fancy things that Java Edition's spectator mode does, such as the mob view, speed control, all that type of thing. But they are working on it. All right. Currently, there's a ton of bugs with the spectator mode, but it does currently work. All right. Currently, you can move, fly around. You can fly through objects. You can go through things, through solid blocks without any collisions. You shouldn't be able to affect anything in game, and the game cannot affect you. That's how it should be working. All right. And it currently they're working out different things. Like it can generate chunks as normal. It doesn't cause any mob to spawn. You know, all that type of thing. So it's supposed to be you're invisible. You're flying through stuff. You're just checking everything out. All right. And there's a bunch of crashes that occurred in gameplay, split screen, a crash that occurred when lightning hits a lightning rod, marketplace crashes, crash in the game when two players are battling each other wearing Thorn's enchanted armor, crashing if players died with the wither effect, crashing when trading with a villager and we were disconnected, fixing a game crash with villagers on Apple products, iOS. They fixed some leftover block and light memory when you're leaving a world, so lights are acting goofy. They're trying to fix that. They fixed an issue that caused the marketplace downloads to get stuck in queue, and they fixed being able to unable to edit characters in the dressing room for Nintendo Switches. All right, there's a new HUD for mobile, so it'll fix your arrows, your movement keys, that type of things to look a little bit different. All right, so we'll have to update that and find that in the settings to figure that out. Because I'm on mobile, and guess what? It still looks the same. So clearly that's in the settings somewhere. I'm gonna go find that. They fixed an issue that caused the player to take fall damage after getting into a bed while falling. They fixed an issue where the invert y-axis setting was not working correctly for touch controls. They fixed the player can now slide from movement directions to jump and not get involved when jumping and sneaking are swapped on classic touch controls. World Generation. They did some improvement to level chunk blending. Mobs do not get stuck in trapdoors anymore. They fixed an issue with the parrot's head to always face the player while riding the player. They put a joke on here that says we couldn't handle the constant staring, so they were getting a little bit freaked out when the parrot's always staring at their faces. Villagers will no longer begin sleeping while riding something near a bed. So villagers riding something, they're not going to just pop into bed. The illagers are now allowed to migrate to other villages and progress raids. Trader llamas can now breed after being fed hay bales. And trader llamas will no longer be persistent after being unleashed from the wandering trader. They fixed a bug where end crystal beams would point far above their targeted blocks. The blocks affected by gravity will now fall correctly on replaceable blocks. Slabs can once again be placed continuously, and torches can no longer be placed on bells. Okay? They fixed incorrect names for white dye, black dye, brown dye, and blue dye. They fixed a bug where an undamaged tool, such as a pickaxe, when name changed on an anvil, would fail to work correctly for the first time. The recipes for a minecart with chest, hopper, TNT are now shapeless. They fixed a bug where a trident bow, spyglass, and crossbow would not render when picked up by a fox. They fixed a bug causing Z fighting to occur on the bottom left, the bottom of a player's head while he's wearing a skull. In each minecart variant, such as a chest, hopper, TNT minecart, they drop itself as a single item when broken instead of splitting into two, such as a chest and a minecart. So that one's real useful. You know, you got your redstone build, it uses a hopper minecart. You break it, it's not going to be a hopper and a minecart, and you have to rebuild it. It's just going to drop as a hopper minecart. That is super, super helpful. Thank you, Mojang. All right, for graphical, they fixed an issue that caused leads to render on top of glass. Fixed a bug causing fire animation to flicker when a player is standing in a lava cauldron while in creative mode. They fixed an issue that can cause several visual glitches when using emotes more than once. And they fixed a graphical corruption issue on Android devices. Okay, and it has, after each of these things, such as I said, fixed a graphical corruption issue on Android devices, they have links next to these things on the Minecraft.net. So if you want to read more about what's going on, see pictures, that type of thing, go to the website. Click on the links. All right. For user interface, shift-clicking items will once again combine them of the same types into a stack. They added settings to change the duration of notifications. The submit feedback button is now described as a link by text-to-speech. They added appropriate messaging when there is no internet on the Xbox devices. Fixed an enchantment option in the Pocket UI profile not being displayed. They fixed a bug where items could be dropped by clicking in the dark gray area of the left side of a player inventory when using a furnace, blast furnace, smoker, enchantment table, grindstone, brewing stand, anvil, beacon, and smithing table. That one was annoying. I personally enjoy that fix as well. Players can now sign in with a QR code on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. Featured server messages. The text is no longer centered. Controller lost connection prompt will now be shown after the world generation screen if a controller was disconnected while on that screen. And then they also have updated add-on templates for 1.19.0, new resource behavior documentation, all that type of stuff on aka.ms/mc add-on packs. And there's a changelog, feedback.minecraft.net for a full list of the technical updates. But for the most part, that is generalistically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Minecraft News. We got to check out all of the allays, the fancy stuff, the mobs, the Warden, you know, all that good stuff. The frogs, the mangrove trees. Check it all out, guys. This is the world we're living in now. This is the new Minecraft. And I hope that you guys enjoyed everything. Feel free to subscribe for more. This is BearStoneGaming on Twitch and YouTube. And I hope that hope you guys enjoy this one. Hope you learned something. Get yourself some frogs. This will be a fun update. And me and the frogs will catch you guys later. See you on the next one. Later, guys.